back again. That's so awesome. Welcome back, people, and welcome to My Thrival Tribe. If you haven't met me before, my name is Lexi Tommy, and this is My Thrival Guide. Every Thursday, I sit down and I talk to you about how to get your life together. It's a fun little channel on adulting, and it's going to make your whole day-to-day and life so much easier. So keep watching today and subscribe below so I can keep coming back every Thursday. This month, we are celebrating summer prep, and it is going to be so good. I'm going to help you step by step streamline it all so you have the easiest, breeziest summer ever. Today, I am bringing a whole new concept into my life, and it has made way more sense than I could ever imagine. I swear, it is like rocket science. Mom, Dad, I made it. I'm a rocket scientist. I'm so excited. Okay, well, it's not rocket science, but dang close. Make this summer so much easier with a kid's wardrobe capsule. What did I tell you? Rocket science. But seriously though, kids grow so fast. And like, what's your only hope as a parent? You want them to look like loved, for one, clean. You want them to look semi-put together. And kids' clothes can be so expensive, especially when you're buying a whole new wardrobe for them every 6 months because they're growing so fast. I was just doing the hypothetical math with my husband the other day on shoes for kids alone. I am so over buying the low quality shoes. They are cheap, sure, but they wear out and look awful in like 5 seconds. Flip-flops and sandals included. Good quality shoes can be so expensive, especially when you realize that every single shoe in your house for your kids from last summer or last spring no longer fits. For summer, the kids needed like flip-flops, and in Canada, that runs you at a good quality slide kind of shoe or a good quality flip-flop. That's gonna run you about $35 before taxes and shipping if you're gonna order them online. Water shoes we need for the beach, for the lake. We need them for some of the spray pads that can get slippery. Water shoes are another like $25, $30. A quality set of sneakers, like that can run a lot. I'm gonna take a happy medium at $90. It can run anywhere from like 70 to like 120. I'm gonna go with 90. A pair of summer dress shoes, good quality, about 60 to 70 bucks. A pair of casual shoes, now those are typically those native shoes that I buy for my son. Those ones will be about 65 bucks. So before taxes, people, we are at $285. You add an 11% tax and you add another, I don't know, say $55 if you had a couple of those items shipped. Maybe not all of them, it'd be more if you had all of them shipped, but let's say 55 if you had a couple shipped. That's 400 bucks per kid. So we have 2, that's 800 bucks. That's that's expensive. And by fall, we're gonna need a whole new round of shoes. We're gonna need really good quality winter boots, and we're gonna need rubber boots, and we're gonna need school shoes. Keeping these kids in footwear is expensive. And let me tell you, my estimations are low for Canada. My estimations are low. There are many of my friends that pay way, way more than that in their children's footwear. But I'll tell you what my focus is. You can get things cheaper as well, but my focus is buying higher quality shoes and footwear so that they last, they look good ongoing. Sometimes I may have the chance to pass it down to the next kid if it's things like slides or things like those native shoes. You can just buy them a gender neutral color like black and it will work for both kids. I just realized that I could get things cheaper, but the quality wasn't there, and it didn't last. And once I weighed out the costs, I realized that if I bought some of the higher end stuff that lasted, wore well, suited my kids, fit their feet, like all checked all of the boxes, and still lasted past their use to a point where I may be able to resell it if it's in really good shape, that cost less in the overall scheme of things. Or, yeah, okay, those $10 flip-flops are cheap and good enough and no problem, but they last like a month, and then you're buying another pair and another pair. So you might as well just have bought the good pair right off the bat and had a shot that by the end of it, you might be able to resell them. Or donate them and they're still good for use. They're not garbage. Do you see my point on this? I really am weighing this out for myself. I'm really taking the time to see what's going to work for our home and what's going to be the best value in the long run. Have you figured this out already? If you have, I would love to hear it in the comments below. What are your tricks and tips for figuring out your kids' wardrobe? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to carry that thought process right on through to the kids' clothing wardrobe capsule. Instead of buying a bunch of random stuff, I'm going to focus in, see what they have, see what's going to work, and plan it all out. And I'm going to show you step by step how to do this too. So the main difference between your clothing capsule and your children's is that they're starting completely fresh sometimes. Remember, not all of this has to be new, but a clothing capsule kind of generally all goes together. So whether it's similar prints or colors or complementary hues, maybe it's a lot of solids, whatever it is, if it all goes together, you will have far more choices. And there were some massive, massive realizations that I came to in the process of this whole kids' clothing capsule that it just made so much sense. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna let you know those at the end. Steps are a little different when it comes to kids. So step one, you're still gonna do all of their laundry first. You need to be able to see what you're starting with and what you're working with in order to make a capsule out of it. So get it all washed up so you're all ready to go through every bit of it. Then you're gonna have your sorting bins ready to go. You're still gonna have a garbage bin for things that are totally worn out. You're gonna have a donation bin. You're going to have a bin, maybe that is resell, or maybe you're going to use it for the next size up for another child. And then you're gonna have an unseasonable bin. In my clothing capsule, I took out unseasonal clothing, and I just found that it helped so much not having to work with all of the stuff. Everything that's hanging or in the drawers, in the cabinets, are things that you're going to use for this season now. It's things they're going to wear now. And so you're not having to sort through 8 sweaters to find the t-shirt that needs to be put on for daycare. So that's step 3. Pull out all the fall and winter wear. So step 4 is really easy. You're gonna pull out anything that's damaged, stained, that's ill-fitting, or too small. Keep a set though for the days that they're wanting to literally roll in the mud or for painting clothes. Step 5, pull out everything that is absolutely still loved and still fitting perfectly. Those are gonna be your definite keep pile. Step 6, you're gonna take out all of the things that are still good, that are not worn out, but are starting maybe to kind of show signs of wear or you don't like as your favorites. You're gonna pull those out. That's going to be your new daycare clothes. And my hope is that we can make this section for daycare so that they are the hard play, run in the muck, roll around on the grass with friends in these clothes rather than the clothes that I absolutely adore. That way I get to keep the nice fresh clothes for the kids when they're at home. So my hope is that this plan, this system is going to work as kind of a transition plan. So one will go to the next, will go to the next, that will go to the next. And if you're gonna go through, like, say 3 pairs of daycare pants, which by the way happened this week, thank you my sonny. If you go through 3 pairs of daycare pants and you need to pull more pants, that this will kind of funnel through as a system. Step 7, you need to make sure all of their underwear and their socks still fit. You might not need as many socks though, keep in mind, for this season. And that brings us to step number 8. And this is something that we really kind of just breezed past when we were doing an adult capsule. And that's acknowledging when you are out of something or need something. So you can write it on a list and that you can keep that list handy. Step 9, you're going to pause here and you're going to kind of grasp what color palette you have going on or what color palette you want. And the reason I say color palette is because if you can stay within a realm of certain colors that work together, you have much more options of what you can match with what. So if your child goes into their closet and randomly picks a pair of pants or a pair of shorts and a shirt, chances are it's gonna work as an outfit. So step number 10 is create a list of reasonable amount of a category. So for example, if your child attends daycare 5 days a week, they may need 3 or 4 t-shirts for this season, not necessarily 5, because they're going to be wearing tank tops and sweaters and things like that. So 3 to 4 should work fine. Step number 11 is once you have the numbers, see what you have that still fits already that you can plug into those spots. In step 12, I created 2 separate sides of the closet. One side is going to be for daycare. One side is going to be for regular wear. If you don't have a hanging system, that's what I work with here. But if you don't have a hanging system, you could do separate drawers or you could do separate bins. By step number 13, I wrote it all down and I gave myself an actual parameters list to work with. So for the daycare category, 3 t-shirts, 2 tank tops, 3 joggers or jeans, 4 shorts, 2 hoodies, and 1 sweater. For home, I want a little bit of a different selection because we're going to be doing some different things. So I wrote 3 t-shirts, 3 tank tops, 2 joggers, 2 sweaters or hoodies, 2 dressier shirts for things like a little visit with grandma or an event that comes up or church. Favorite sport team wear, I kept 1 jersey. And then of course 2 sets of shorts. Jammies were easy for this size too. I tend to like to buy sets of stuff. So this one I bought a set of jammies that came with 2 pairs of pants, 2 shirts, and a pair of jammy shorts, but they are a set, so everything goes together. And that's it for my little boy. And I chose my little guy specifically because girls tend to have a few more categories. So this really acts as like a baseline for your kids' clothing capsule. And from there, you can kind of pick and choose what you're gonna add for categories. Step number 14, I created a next in line bin. The next in line bin is gonna sit at the top of my son's closet. It's gonna hold anything that I still wanna keep but didn't fit into the parameters of like 2 shirts here, 3 shirts here, but it's going to follow through as the replacement items. It also houses things like hand-me-downs that we got that are in that size range or might be just slightly a little bit bigger so that we can keep them in mind and plug them in as we go. Now, step number 13 actually deals with that next in line bin. As something wears out from the daycare lot, you're now going to grab it from something that is starting to wear from your home lot. And to replace from the home lot, you're gonna grab from your next in line bin. One category will just help the other categories, and it's all going to funnel down the line. So there you are, my darling. Now you have a fully functioning children's clothing capsule wardrobe, all ready to go. It's a system that will work together. Things will start to funnel through. The stuff from the home lot will start funneling through the daycare lot that you can then pull from the next size up, and it's going to be something that will run smoothly in your home so that you have less clothing battles. And the next thing that you're gonna want to just kind of make a little slight note of, it's something that I am starting a habit of in my home here. I'm going to be peeking in the next inline bin every laundry day. So that's once a week. I go to the bin. I'm not going through it. I'm just quickly taking a look to see what's in there. So you're all set to go. It helps things kind of funnel into the rotation like you'll need them to do. And as I promised, there were some massive realizations that I made in going through this kids' clothing capsule exercise. And I'm gonna share them with you now. Realization number 1, kids grow way too fast to not have a clothing capsule. Realization number 2, separating daycare stuff from home stuff. That was huge. Having one funnel into the other made such sense. And it means that not everything looks worn out and overused. You have the designated clothes to be good, hard play clothes, and the other clothes to be used for different purposes that you have in your life. Having those two categories separates it for you. Realization number 3, buying on the cheap means that you are spending a little bit on the output, but you're doing it multiple times because that stuff is not gonna last. It's gonna wear out or look terrible really quickly. So sometimes you're buying it more than once. Buy a good quality item right off the bat. Who knows? Maybe you'll even have it in good condition enough to sell it at the end. Realization number 4, buying something of good quality also means that you may have something at the end to pass down to your next child, which really led into realization number 5, and that is buying gender neutral stuff whenever appropriate or possible. So for example, having those brand new slides for my daughter, super easy to buy them in black and buy them in a style, as slides always come in, that will work for multiple children at different genders. It just goes with everything. Black sandals, white lines, you're good to go. Realization number 6 was kind of fun in the process too. And that was making a list of what you needed for the upcoming size or for the current size. So if you were out of joggers, you would put that on the list. That's just an example, but you take a picture of the list and then you always have it. Then when you're at a sale, maybe you're shopping online, you have a sale, maybe you're out at the grocery store and there's a cute shirt, you know what you need and you don't need to feel guilty about buying it because you know exactly what is needed in your capsule and what isn't. That way, I don't lose sight on my goals or my budget. So what did you think? I think this is exactly what we needed here at our home. I hope it gave you some really good ideas and tricks that you can use in your home too. And if no one has told you yet today, I am so proud of you. I love the decisions that you are considering on making to make your day-to-day in your life that much easier. They say it takes a village, and now you have one. Welcome, Thrivers, to My Thrival Tribe. We'll see you soon.